Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Kat. I'm one of the pro artists here at 𝐒𝐜𝐚𝐥𝐩 Scalp Micropigmentation, and today we're going to be talking about how long does SMP last. So first we need to talk about the difference between tattooing and scalp micropigmentation. Besides the microneedles and the pigment, and there being a difference with the equipment that we use, the biggest difference is the depth. That's the key. See, you're working with 3 layers of skin. On top you have your epidermis, which regenerates every 28 days. On the bottom, the 3rd layer, you got your hypodermis, which is the fatty layer where basically they would go down to remove follicles for a hair transplant. But that 2nd layer that's the key layer that we're talking about today. It's the dermis. And so at the bottom of the dermis is where a tattoo needle goes and implants pigment. And down at that level, it's permanent, so it's not coming out. But with SMP, we're going to the very top of the dermis, closer to the epidermis, and it's semi-permanent because we're only going about the width of a dime, which is about 1.35 millimeters to 2 millimeters. And that's basically that key zone in terms of width and depth that we're going with the needles. So that's what makes the difference between tattooing being permanent and SMP being semi-permanent. So what does semi-permanent mean? Semi-permanent means it's gonna last you about 5 to 8 years, depending on how well you as the client take care of it. You see, sunlight and UV rays are the biggest enemy for SMP pigment. And so if you allow your skin and allow your procedure to be exposed to a lot of sunlight, then it's going to basically die out and it's going to fade out a lot quicker. But if you can keep it covered when you're at the beach, when you're out doing, just in times when you're being exposed to the sun for a long period of time, basically more than an hour, as long as you can keep it covered, you should be good. And then you can come in and get a refresh or a touch-up in about 5 to 8 years. And a refresh will only be about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours max, but it's definitely not going to be as intense as your first initial sessions that take you all the way through your procedure. But yeah, that's the biggest difference between SMP and tattooing. It's all in the depth. So today I hope you learned some really good information about SMP. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit us up in the comments, like, subscribe, and yeah, come check us out at 𝐒𝐜𝐚𝐥𝐩 Scalp Micropigmentation. Thanks.